If someone from the future came into this society right now, one of the things that they would see is that on the one hand, we have these fashion models walking down a runway that we're paying $30,000 a week. And on the other hand, we have these girls, same height, same weight, with anorexia nervosa, and we hospitalize them. I think the people from the future would say, what was going on in a culture where this could be happening at the same time?
Treatment has to bear an understanding of this confluence of biology and experience. And she's been devoted to that, which I have always admired.
In 1983-84, she used to go to community centers and schools and talk about eating disorders. Back then, nobody really believed that you could recover, or you were always recovering.
We believe you can be recovered. I think you become disordered and you can be recovered. I created Montanito as a place where I would have liked to have been taken in for treatment when I had my own eating disorder. I really wanted a place that was home-like, a place that people could sort of live as a family, sit around the dining room table, go in the kitchen, get their hands on in the food. I wanted to have a place where I thought would be inspiring to them.
She's very, very accomplished in the field of eating disorders. Among the most influential people in the world, perhaps.
I think she's inspired hundreds of thousands of people, both staff and clients and families.
Because of Carolyn's fortitude and her clinical judgment and her passion and her inspiration to all of us that got us enthused, we became teachers and we became mentors.
She teaches it and she becomes your mentor, and then she allows you to kind of become a co-teacher.
I actually see my job as teaching people how to get back to a natural relationship with food in their bodies, actually making peace.
Something truly remarkable about Carolyn is that there's absolutely no judgment. That when she talks about truth without judgment, she truly embodies that.
I remember in high school, there were all these cliques, like everyone knows. There was the jocks and the stoners and the honor students and the nerds and the theater geeks. And Carolyn was friends with all of them. She found something interesting and great about people from all different walks of life and all different types of people. And that's just something I really, really admire about her.
She has a way with human beings that is advanced.
Carolyn embodies authenticity. One of the greatest lessons she ever taught me about being authentic was to show up, pay attention, tell the truth without judgment, and not to be attached to the results.
What Carolyn stressed early on is the importance of knowing the individual, really getting into the weeds, so to speak, of a person's mind and experience and heart and soul.
She has this insatiable appetite to go out and integrate new information into what she's doing.
She's always been dialed into what are the cutting edge areas of investigation and research.
To me, my evidence-based practice is just exactly what Carolyn taught 10 years ago. The evidence is that people get better.
The only evidence I need is when I see a 10, 15, 20-year alumni come back and teach and impart the wisdom that Carolyn has given to them. That, for me, is the true authenticity.
When I heard the theme or the title, Fiercely Authentic, I thought that's perfect. I cannot think of two words that would describe you better.
She really embodies the word authenticity, because to say that she practices what she preaches doesn't even feel like an accurate enough statement. It's more that Carolyn preaches what she practices.
Her authenticity calls your authenticity.
She can ask the most challenging questions and call people on the most challenging behaviors in a way that she just draws people to speak the truth back to her.
Because Carolyn is as authentic as she is, it gives other people permission to be who they are.
Rather than thinking, I want to be her, which is what I would think often in my life when I would negate myself, I thought, I want to be myself around her. That is what embodies Carolyn and her fierce, authentic self. She connects people with theirs.
There are innovators, there are integrators, there are trailblazers, there are hellraisers. And Carolyn is distinctly her own amazing self. I would call it she's a soul blazer.
She and Bruce together have managed to do a great many things in the ways that Carolyn knew in her heart, or learned from her heart, were the right ways to do things. I think that's one of the reasons I find her such a fascinating and inspiring person.
Carolyn is insistent in being who she is, and unapologetically so, and wonderfully so. And that's one of the reasons why I think she's beloved to our field and so well respected.
When I was the president of the National Eating Disorder Association, I was the NEDA spokesperson, and Carolyn would have an attitude or perspective on things that wasn't always in line with the organization's goals and mission and stuff. So I nicknamed her Sideways, and it's something that's stuck, and that's what just strikes me and sticks with me about who Carolyn Costin is. She will come at things from multiple directions. She'll stay true to what she believes. She is smart and fierce and passionate and committed, and I like being challenged by her, just as she's challenged the whole field.
There is an inherent authenticity that underlies the way she approaches everything, and I think that's really extraordinary.
What does it mean to be authentic? What does it mean to be connected to other people? What does it mean to be creative? What does it mean to be expressive? What does it mean to be successful? That she's both internalized this, and yet her own sense of her limitations and her own challenges and her own shortcomings, those are written on her face. And to me, part of being authentic is that your own sense of your incompleteness is right out there too.
She was just always honest and real. That was a part of who she was, and her recovery was a part of who she was. And what connected her to both me and I think to my clients was that she comes from the heart.
Carolyn said you can't persuade somebody that there's more important things than weight loss and restriction unless you sort of speak to the heart and soul of the individual. And that's really sort of a founding principle of Montanito, which I believe in very strongly.
I say to them, what are you recovering to? We always debate, what are they recovering from? Is it an addiction? Is it a disorder? Is it a psychiatric illness? But really a question is, what are you recovering to?
She has authority as an author, as a writer, but also as a speaker, as a recovered person in ways that many people still find unimaginable.
Sometimes I say it's the fairy dust, and we have a joke around Montanito about the fairy dust. I actually have fairy dust, but that's for another video.